Okay, we're back. Minnesota will start with the touchback at their 20. Dalvin Cook, 2nd and 6 at the 24. Let's throw it to Adam Thielen. Complete first down. Laquan Treadwell. Dalvin Cook. First down. There we go, Dalvin Cook. Florida State, right? I think he went to Florida State. Wait, they won the, didn't they win the championship the one year? Jameis. He was on the Jameis team that won the championship, I think. Why do I remember? Because I play games like this. Because I made this game. Why did I make this game? I don't know. It just evolved. 1st and 10, Latavius Murray. 2nd and 8, neutral zone infraction. Let's go, Minnesota. CJ Ham into the line. That was the wrong running back to run to. I had a good situation there. And I messed that up, although Case Keenum, Stephon Diggs makes up for it. Let's, let's throw to Stephon Diggs again. 7 of 11. Case Keenum. I feel like there was only 8 yards passing, right? Wasn't I saying who had the 8 yards passing? Now I'm 68 and I 7 of 11? That's a lot of less than 10 yards a catch. I think football in the late 2010s, especially into the 2020s, really transitioned into a situation where you don't have many yards per catch, or as many yards per catch as you did. Not like you did in the even the 2000s, especially not like you did in the 80s, or especially not like you did in the pre-Super Bowl era. I can't remember when I finished the Super Bowl or RFS Bowl championship of the last, pre-draft or pre-expansion. I think it was around September, so it's been a little bit. I'm 20-some games into this one out of 144, I think. And this is Baltimore's 2nd game, and perhaps Minnesota's 3rd, I think. I don't think Minnesota's been too successful, and Baltimore won their first game handily. There's a couple Baltimore teams. I think this is the only Minnesota entrant. Jacoby Jones. To the 40. Anquan Bolden. Second and 6, Ray Rice. 3rd and 3, Ray Rice. Big block. Torrey Smith, complete touchdown. Torrey Smith was a really good receiver. He was a great fit for the early 2010s, not as great a fit for the late 2010s. Just a really great downfield receiver. And you had to account for him, which opened the rest of the defense, blah, blah, blah. Marcus Sherrills. Let's return with Marcus Sherrills to the 37. Great job, Marcus. Latavius Murray, 2nd and 7. Kyle Rudolph. Complete, first down. 1st and 10 from the 48. Stephon Diggs. Incomplete, 2nd and 10. Stephon Diggs, incomplete again, 3rd and 10. How about Adam Thielen? 3 incompletes. Pretty bleak case, pretty bleak. Ryan Quigley, great punt earlier, by the way. I didn't know who the punter was. Ryan Quigley is a name that I don't really remember from, you know, NFL Red Zone, which is what I was probably watching at the time. Jacoby Jones, in between. Yeah, Jacoby Jones from the 11. Let's return to the 11. Ray Rice fumbles and recovered. Torrey Smith incomplete, 3rd and 12. Anquan Bolden, yardage is hard to come by. Was Minnesota a good pass defense? I mean, I feel like that's how they're holding this game in. 4th and 12 from the 10 is a punting situation. Sam Koch. Jerick McKinnon, 1st and 10. Latavius Murray, 2nd and 12. Stephon Diggs, complete. 3rd and 2. Latavius Murray, first down. Latavius Murray, 2nd and 7. Laquan Treadwell. Was that a scramble or a catch? That was a scramble for 7 yards and a first down. Second and 10. First down, Jarius Wright. Adam Thielen, first down, and it feels like the Vikings are rolling. I don't want to jinx it. 8 yards. Throw to Kyle Rudolph, first down. Minnesota has 1st and goal at the 4-yard line at the 2-minute warning. What is in our wallet? What's in our wallet, RFS? Latavius Murray, and we're gonna just go to the huddle. What's interesting in the first half, the very beginning of the first half was so absurd because it was just a timeout after timeout, and then the second half flowed a lot more. There weren't many more points, and the score difference wasn't any different. But here we are at the very end game, and all the timeouts, and the game has flowed, and there's no concern at all with the time. Neither team has the incentive to rush or, or not. It's 2nd and goal. The first down went 0 yards. second and goal, and I think I'm gonna run the ball with Dalvin Cook for the touchdown. Now the question is, do I go for the 2-point conversion? I'm going for 2. Let's run the ball with Dalvin Cook across the line, 18-17. Oh, stealing the game at the very end, unless Jacoby Jones or something can break free, which is, quite possible. Although that is the end of the game. Wow, a really, really competitive game that perhaps Minnesota didn't have any business winning, especially considering I messed Baltimore's strategy up at the end of the first half, if you don't recall, and that's probably not fair. I mean, a neutral coach, probably, and not I'm not biased, but I messed that up. That's what I mean. The first half strategy, and it worked out perfectly for Minnesota and the 2-point conversion. So, it is what it is. I guess 18-17.